Hello everybody, this is Marina with City Tarot and this is the Tarot channel. Today I will be reviewing Angelarium, Oracle of Emanations. Now, as most of you know, I don't normally work with Oracle decks. However, I came upon this one while doing research for Tarot Final Frontier, which is my online Kabbalistic tarot class. And to be honest, I fell in love with the art of this deck. Now, Angelarium is rather large, if that matters to you, in both width and height. And it includes 11 cards of the Kabbalistic Emanations, or the Sephiroth, plus Da'at, the 11th invisible Sephirah, in addition to 22 angel cards. Let me start with the Sephiroth, as this is how I found this deck in the first place. So each Sephirah is represented not in its usual color-constrained system, but rather interpretively. Thus you have Binah, knowing, understanding. In the words of the author, she is the force that turns our potential from higher emanations into a form that can be received by our consciousness. Now, the understanding in Binah comes not from knowledge per se, but knowing, the subconscious knowing. Thus, you see a hand piercing through her gut and offering that knowing to us. The hand points to a white orb of light, implying a way forward, which will eventually take place in actual physical form. Now, as another example, let's take a look at Yesod, foundation. That is our gateway to the tree of life, a path between the physical and the spiritual. It is the moonlit sky at which we gaze for answers higher than ourselves. And here too, in its presentation, we see the actual gateway through which we can peer into the infinite, if only for a moment. Yesod looks down on what is the last Sephirah on the tree of life, Malkut. It is in Malkut that a physical world exists, and it is to Malkut that Yesod is trying to parlay her energy. And then there are the angel cards. Now, full disclosure, I'm not an expert on angels, so with this deck, I rely on the artist's interpretation of these angels. And what interpretation it is. Just take a look at Phanuel, the angel of truth. He seems to be floating in the air, because truth is light. And he's holding up the light of reality. He is in a very relaxed, meditative position, as if to say, find your truth, and you too will be lifted. Now, in full contrast to Phanuel is Simikiel, the angel of vengeance. He carries a double-edged sword, as a reminder to those who harm others for no cause, that harm will come, or rather fall on them threefold. That's a very striking message. So as I was so taken with the art, I wasn't quite sure how to use this deck in Divination. Now, the author recommends either meditating on a random card or doing a focus reading of 5 or 7 cards or so. The beauty of this deck is that you can basically create what would be a tarot spread and apply the cards as you normally would with a tarot deck. Or just let yourself be totally mesmerized, like I was, by the beauty of the art and the meaning behind each card. So, because this deck serves its own unique purpose, and because the art is so breathtaking, I give this deck 5 full pentacles. Bottom line, this deck can be an awesome inspiration for anyone looking to get random guidance or insight. You don't need to be a tarot professional to use this deck. You just need to allow yourself to be immersed in its beauty and allow it to take you places you haven't gone before.